Here we go. All right, you guys. Hi, and welcome to everyone that is here to our Chaos to Calm workshop, where we are going to hopefully leave you with some natural tools for your mental wellness toolbox as we start this next school year. My name is Dana Lewis, if we don't know one another, and I will be your host tonight. I am the mom to 3 amazing teenage boys, 2 of them that are going to college, but we'll circle back on that later. I am an engineer by degree, but after losing my husband 10 years ago to cancer and having my own family dynamic go through some, what I would say, rough waters, I've shifted my nerdy engineering self in my efforts towards helping other families thrive. I read a statistic this week that 1 out of every 7 children struggle with their mental health. And as moms, I think we see this every single day, from butterflies in the stomach to anxiety to mood issues to snippy attitudes to not being able to focus to trouble sleeping to being just easily triggered. So we are hopeful tonight that as we share 3 moms and 4 testimonies, if you will, because I'm going to share mine and I'm going to have my oldest, Noah, will share his, but 3 moms and 4 testimonies. We're hopeful that these stories will share and encourage you that you are not alone, and that through sharing our stories that you know that other families have been impacted by these solutions. And first and foremost, because teenagers have places to go, I wanted to introduce you to my oldest son, Noah, who started on these solutions. Come on, join us.
Noah.
This is my oldest son, Noah. He started on these solutions. It's been a solid 5 years. So he's going into his 3rd year of college. So we started these kind of mid high school.
Yeah.
Like, can you share with your words, like, what is your routine and how do these solutions make you feel?
My everyday routine is in the morning, I'll take Kids Mood and Edge, and I like that routine just because I think that it kind of helps me start my day well, and it gets me like mentally prepared to just like take on my day and gives me the energy and the focus that I need to do all my schoolwork and work out and do everything that I need to throughout the day.
Okay, so if we dial it back to high school, like I remember you used to take Kids Mood, you'd put it in your backpack and you would take it before school. Can you share with us why you did that? And it wasn't me telling you that you had to, you did it on your own. Can you share with the people?
Yeah, so I like taking Kids Mood to school because anytime I would have like a test or when we would have a big soccer game, I would take it, and it just would help my brain feel focused and just ready to go. And I just helped kind of clear my judgment and allow me to be the best student and the best athlete that I could be.
And we're talking about the pixie stick, right? You would like dry scoop the pixie stick in the hallway of school.
Yeah, the pixie stick.
Yeah. And you did that with confidence, and you did it before games also. And now fast forward to college where you're playing essentially Division II soccer. You are like, what is your habit before you get on the soccer field?
The same thing. I do a Kids Mood, and I've added a dry scoop of Edge as well sometimes, just when I feel like I need the extra energy. And it just helps me stay focused, and it helps me think clearly about where I need to be on the field and what I need to tell other people to do. And I just like it. It makes me a better person.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Does anybody have any questions for my famous 20 almost 21-year-old? I can look to see, hold on, let me look to see if they're into the question area before we allow him to leave.
I have a question for you, Noah.
Yeah.
So like the dry scooping, right? Do you find that like, do you prefer that because it's just like quick and you can do it on the go and you don't have to have water with you? Or do you like feel like that you like the taste better? Or
it's quicker is how I started doing it originally, but I realized that when I dry scoop it, I would put it in my mouth and then just take a quick swig of water. I think that the effect kicks in a lot quicker than just drinking it, mixing it with normal water. which in most cases is better because I can do it in like 5 minutes before I get on the field, and it's perfect.
Yeah, and it's kind of like instantaneous versus like sipping on something, right? Or
Mhm.
drinking
Yeah.
it. Yeah. That
You
makes
have
sense.
also shared that you don't like the way that it tastes, that you like water. You've said that on multiple occasions. Like you
Yeah.
just like water.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like, but like while I'm playing, I want to drink just water because I'm running around and it's hard and hot.
Yeah.
So I like just taking that before and then playing through it, just drinking water.
Yeah. But his go-to is the pixie stick for anxiety, for focus, and the nootropic to kind of help him through that. And I will share with everyone, I can see in the Q&A that there are 2 questions. And with my savvy skills, I can't figure out in what bubble that is. So we're going to just keep going. And
You want me to read the questions for you?
yeah, can you see them? I don't know why
Yes.
I can't see them.
Lane asked, do you take mentobiotics or fundamentals?
I take both, I think.
He takes the
Oh,
kids' fundamentals. So from a perspective of, we started this routine 5 years ago. None of my children, given the fact that they are 17, 19, and going to be 21, they are all still on the kids' protocol. And I think the answer to that is not necessarily like, are you a child or are you an adult? It's, if the kids is working, there's no reason just because you graduated to an age or a weight to graduate to the adult version. So it's working for us. And I've not looked back to bother to change that, if that makes sense. What's the next question, Courtney?
The next question is from Imelda, and the question is, how long do the effects last?
Honestly, it's kind of hard to tell. I think that when I take it in the morning, I can definitely notice it throughout most of the day, and then I'm kind of just like chilled out at night. For when I'm dry scooping for games and stuff, I definitely notice it instantly. But then after I notice it, I just kind of, it dies down towards the end as I get more tired. But it's stays pretty consistent, and I'm definitely able to tell a difference at like the start of my day when I've taken it towards the end when I feel more fatigued, I guess is the word. And my day's over. So yeah.
I like that. And I would say the scientific answer to that is like a kid's mood should last roughly 4 to 6 hours, like in your system. And then you can feel free to take another one. And also, if you are feeling really kind of anxious, there's no reason not to take 2 at one time. It's like, I mean, not that I want to use the word Advil, but 100 milligrams might be the prescription, but you can take 200 or 300 and be fine as long as you're not consistently doing that.
Or 800 milligrams, says the
Right.
pharmacist.
Yeah. Right. All right. Thank you so much, Noah. We
Yeah.
greatly appreciate your time.
Of course.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Noah.
Thank you guys.
Oh, you guys, I love him. Okay, so let's continue on. I absolutely love this conversation, and I want to share. I'm going to end this with my thoughts from a parent's perspective, but let's kick it to another mom. Dr. Courtney, pharmacist, overall badass, is a mother to one. She's been a pharmacist for 19 years, and over the past 18 years has transitioned to a more holistic approach with her functional medicine clients. Like I said, she's a rock star and a mom to one amazing child. Let's hear from your perspective what these solutions have done for your family.
So thank you for organizing this, Dana. I think this is so great to just get the word out to so many, parents whose kids are struggling. And, our journey is, started about 4 or 5 months ago. And as a pharmacist, I can't just say that enough about these products. I'm known for like supplements. Everybody comes to me. I'm like the go-to person. And when I found these products, Dana, when you introduced them to me, however many months ago, I thought they were amazing. I tried them on me and my son, and I can't say enough great things. Everybody needs help with their gut microbiome. Everybody needs help with their adrenals, focus. It's just amazing. So ours started with my son, Christopher. He is now 15. He'll be 16 in November. And it's been a rough road for him. He has always had a lot of like anxiety and ADHD issues. And we kind of refrained for very long time putting him on medication. As a pharmacist, I am like the weird pharmacist that's like prescriptions last, try to do everything up until the point of having to do a prescription. And we ended up putting him on Adderall when he was hitting puberty because his anxiety was starting to turn into frustration and anger, and almost like he was so frustrated he couldn't even, he would say, I don't understand this. And I'm like, they're spelling words, bud. Like, you just have to memorize them. Like, he just couldn't even get past that block of like, I don't understand this. And it was like wit's end, and put him on Adderall, really didn't want to. And he was on it for, I guess, about 4 or 5 years. And he was kind of showing some signs of like, he didn't want to be on it anymore. And he was kind of like very, almost like he was kind of like just isolating and being like very quiet and reserved. And it was concerning me and his dad. So we ended up taking him off of it. And it was like he was not focused in school. Like, you could just see he was off. Enter Dana into my life. And I started him on the kids fundamentals, the kids mood, and the edge in a happy juice combination, as well as adult mood plus capsules with his multivitamin. And Dana was like, Court, 3 days. And I'm like, what? Literally 3 days. My child, who literally said 1 or 2 words to me in a blurb, asked me to go for a walk and talked for an hour and a half straight. I was like, stop it. Like, what is happening? I couldn't even believe it. I'm like, my son is back. Like, it's just like mind blowing to me. So, it's, of course, he's a teenager with raging hormones, and he has his moments of being, just having his little moods and stuff. But the fact that he's back to laughing and smiling and looking me in the eyes, and it's just amazing. No more medication, like just these supplements and herbs and probiotics. So as a pharmacist or mom, I just can't even say enough. Like, my heart is so happy. And even down until yesterday, like, it was his like anxiety always stems from like a confidence point of view. And he just is like, with sports, he always kind of like takes a step back and is like, he's afraid to like get out there and like just do something. And yesterday I was just so happy. He was like running around playing with his cousins, laughing. It was like the first time in a long time. It was like he was just like enjoying life. I was like, oh, this is great.
Oh my gosh, you guys, like, first of all, if that story melts my heart. Like, if that story resonates with you, drop a 1 in the comments. Like, does that matter? Because at the end of the day, that's what we're here to talk about, like, helping our kids thrive. Because we always talk, like, you always hear everyone talking about like, I would die for my kids. I would die for my kids. I would. Okay. Yes. We all would do anything that we can for our kids, but to see them joyful and thriving with confidence, like, I'm just so excited. And thank you so much for sharing that story, Courtney.
Absolutely. I was, me, I was a little apprehensive because Christopher would not get on camera and talk like Noah would. And, I didn't want him to feel embarrassed with me telling his story, but I firmly believe that any mom that I can help that was in my situation, feeling hopeless and helpless and there was nowhere left to turn. And what it's done for us and our family, it's just amazing.
Yeah. The power of the gut microbiome. Thank you for sharing. All right, Abby, my dear friend, Abby and I were neighbors for 8 years, 9 years.
Yeah.
Like she has seen it all, and I will go last with my story, and she's a very big part of it. But Abby's a mom to 3 teenagers, about to send her oldest off to college, which is a whole different ball of emotions. But Abby's
I'm taking
also,
lots of kids' mood right now.
right? Abby is also a busy business owner who is passionate about helping other moms manage the stress of life so that their families can thrive. Because if we're not thriving, your family's probably not thriving. And I am just so excited to hear you share your story. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you. Courtney and I love your story, and just hearing about your son, and, Dana, seeing Noah, like, I've seen Noah not at his best. You know what I mean? So it's great to see that, and to hear, Courtney, about your son. Like, I think, Dana, just like you said, right? The way that society is now and lifestyles are now, it's so different, I feel like, than when we were growing up. And I'm sure when we were growing up, our parents felt like it was so different, right? But we have so many demands, and whether it's on us or it's on our kids, like, we're all constantly being pulled in different directions. If you have younger kids, it just may be like social type of things and, in a different way than what, I've been experiencing the last few years with my teenagers. And social media has changed a lot of that. Courtney, going back to what you said about confidence, truthfully, like I'm part of why I'm so passionate about these solutions is because these are solutions that I feel if I had had them when I was a child, a lot of things would be different for me in a positive way. And unfortunately, when we were growing up, mental wellness wasn't spoke of. It wasn't prioritized. And I just love that we're able to talk about it and to normalize it and to help families so that our kids can flourish and that they can feel joyful, right? And my goal is to help my kids and other families not repeat some of the same things that maybe I experienced, right? And not that my childhood was bad, because it was awesome and I had wonderful parents, but we just didn't have the tools to do the things that we do now. And so like, I have 3 kids from 14 to 18. They are on the kids fundamentals, kids mood. They also do take the adult mood, like Courtney's son at times too. And what I have found with these solutions is a number of things, and it all kind of depends on your child. But, I've got between my 3, I've got, anxiety. I've just got like uneasiness, kind of sometimes negative thinking, right? I think we're all capable of going to that place where you start to have a negative thought and then it just goes more and more like deeper, right? And so how do we stop those thoughts and how do we get our minds to a place to where we can recognize that it is a negative thought and it's not true, right? And it's not real. And how do we, Dana, as you always say, like manifest it, like believe the positive. And I feel like these solutions have given kind of the space in everybody in my household's brain. I mean, my husband's on the products as well, so that we can process things and emotions and feelings in a more like proactive way and less reactive, if that makes sense. I mean, we're still, we're not perfect. But they've just been amazing for that. The other thing that I'll say too is one of my children has had eczema from the time he was born, like really bad. So when he's doing the kids fundamentals, we see that go away, right? So in healing your gut, it not only helps you to produce more dopamine and serotonin and, reduce your cortisol with these products to be more joyful, but it's also doing other work in your body that you may not see. And then suddenly you're like, oh, wait a second. Do you need more, steroid cream? Do you need more CeraVe? No, I don't have it anymore. And then you're like, what? You don't have it, So, so I do want to mention that, right? Because, that can be annoying too, and can make you kind of irritable and crazy if you're constantly itching and stuff like that. So, just a firm believer in this, and Courtney, going, listening, I guess, to what you were saying about seeing your son feel like the joy again and want to talk, I think that is like, that's such a huge thing. And we don't see that as much with kids because there's so much pressure that they're carrying. And also sometimes it can be really hard to talk about, right? So if we can help them to feel more joyful and to then feel comfortable to be able to talk maybe about what was bothering them, or even just spend time with other people, because sometimes part of that confidence, whether you're their parent or their friend, is they just don't want to be around other people, right? And I think COVID did us all a disservice in that regard because we got used to being kind of independent and on our own. And so I'm such a big believer in these products and how they've helped our family and how I see them help other families every day. And I just think this is awesome, Dana. I'm so glad that you put this together so that we could share it with people, right? I know we share a lot about the adult products and what we take and what we do, but there is that important element of the family dynamic. And
100%.
I guess, like, in closing, as you said, like I work full time, run businesses, and also want to be a mom. And it's, you know, trying to find that work-life balance. And then when you do have the balance, having an enjoyable balance, right?
Mhm.
And not one where you're stressed at work and you're stressed at home, but where you can come home and like be together and have people be joyful and, just enjoy being around one another. So this has all been awesome for my family in that regard.
Having people truly be joyful is the point of the story, right?
It's underrated, right?
It's what we're talking about. And just for those of you listening, like, don't jump off I'm going to share my family testimony, and then I'm going to unpack what each one of these products does, and then we'll do a little Q&A at the end. So hang tight. But I just wanted to share that from my family's perspective, like when I first started on this protocol, Abby and I were neighbors, where my garage door opened to her garage door. And if you came out, you couldn't help but like say hi to your neighbor. So there were always times where you were like flying and hot because you're like, I don't have time to like talk, whatever. But for the most part, at the time, our kids were, 6, 8, 10, and we're hanging in the driveway, enjoying them. And when I first started on this protocol, my youngest, who was supposed to be here tonight also, but unplanned programming that I didn't realize was there was also soccer practice right now. So he's at soccer practice and I couldn't trump that. So he'll come on to the next webinar. But my youngest is a little bit of a spitfire. I don't know how to put
He's the
that.
youngest. He's used to fighting his way like up to the top and being heard and like
that he's used to fighting his way to the top. So Abby and I were sitting in the driveway with her 3 kids and my 3 kids. And I had been on this protocol for, a handful of months. And my youngest did something that I would typically have pulled him by his hair and dragged him inside the house to have like a sweet mother-son chat. And instead of doing that, I literally did nothing. And I kind of soaked it in and I was like, oh, that's really not unfortunate that he did that. And Abby looked at me and went, when are you gonna fall off the rails? Like what are you doing? And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe this is a teachable moment. I don't know. And she was like, who are you? And I was
yeah,
like,
there was no like what we call chandeliering, right? Where like
Yeah.
one minute you were happy and then they make you mad the next, and then it's like
I wasn't doing it anymore. And then I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm on this happy juice stuff. Like maybe that's doing something. So in a nutshell, that is my like quick story as a parent, but also as a child. In that moment, I was able to say to him like, hey, we're going to go inside and you're going to down one of these and I'm going to down one of these. And it's like, take the pixie stick. Nobody's in trouble. We're going to have a chat in 5 minutes. So like, I need 5 minutes. You need 5 minutes. We were able to come back together and take a situation that for years prior, our family dynamic was yell at you. I'm the mom. I'm in charge. You will respect me. This is what I want to do. And him being like Abby just said, like, I'm a scrapper. He's a scrapper and he's going to be right until he dies. So the dynamic was this, and it's not awesome. And I don't think that it's talked about enough because I know now, having been doing this protocol for 5 years, that I'm not the only one and that dynamic exists. But the fact that we can each take a pixie stick and come back together, he was also open then to like punishment. Like, hey, let's talk about what you did. Was that a good idea? No. Okay. Let's talk about.
he was less reactive.
He was less reactive.
But I think the other part of that, and I think this is like what you're getting to, but is like how that impacts your relationship with your child, because suddenly you're having a less reactive, less negative interaction. And it's more of like a warning or a gentle discipline, right? Versus
it's more
like
of a
screaming.
conversation. It's more of a conversation than it is a dictatorship. And
it becomes more out of love and less out of control.
Right. And
Right.
so these solutions from a back to school perspective and from a family dynamic perspective have helped us tenfold. And when it's after school and you need to do your homework, but you're running around like a crazy person and you don't want to do your homework and you don't want to do whatever, have a pixie stick, calm your brain, calm your nerves, do the Noah approach of dry scooping edge or doing whatever you're going to do to like get your energy and get your, jitters out and get to it. And it helps us as parents and it helps these kids. And the last thing that I will share, and this is a whole conversation that I could share for 20 minutes on, but is the ADHD conversation of, I mean, I have 3 kids that are 3 very separate individuals and have 3 very separate outcomes from using this protocol. But the ADHD perspective, we didn't go down the Adderall road, but we tried, I can't think of the name. It wasn't Ritalin, but it was something else. We tried one of the other pharmaceuticals. He didn't like the way that he felt. I didn't like the way that he was behaving on it. So we as a family chose to not do that because we didn't like it, but I still hadn't been introduced to this solution. So I was being peppered constantly from teachers with, he's getting kicked out of class. He didn't turn his homework. He's in 4th grade and has an F in some class. And it's like, how are you failing math when you're really smart and math is your gig because you don't turn in your homework? Anyhow, fast forward to being on the kids fundamentals, and that's it. Like kids mood once a day, 1 scoop of kids fundamentals within, I would say, a 6 to 8 week time frame. His teacher, when he was in 4th grade, emailed me to thank me for finally putting him on meds. And I was like, he's not on meds, but the end result is that he can sit in the class, he can listen, and he's not so angsty, because I don't like labels and I really hate talking about ADHD, but like part of a side effect of that label is self-confidence. Like you diminish self-confidence because you know darn well that you're going to come into the classroom, you're going to get yelled at, you're going to get told what you're not doing right, you're going to be told to go sit in the corner. And so these kids stop trying. And I saw that firsthand, just straight up give up. Like, I won't even try to turn in my homework because I'm going to put it in the wrong bin. It's going to be 5 minutes late. It's going to be whatever. So I just won't do it. And then I won't turn it in. And then I won't be disappointed that I have an F. And I just want to share with all of the parents that there is a solution if you want to lean into that. And the 3 things that we've been talking about for the most part, the kids fundamentals pack is a 3-part solution. The first is literally a powder that's a probiotic. It's a probiotic geared towards stress, anxiety, and depression. There are trillions of bacteria in your gut that control every aspect of your health. When we talk about getting to the root cause for ourselves and for our kids, we want to populate the gut with all of that good bacteria, because your gut is controlling 90% of your hormones, your feel-good hormones like serotonin and dopamine, your sleep hormones like melatonin, and roughly 70% of your immune function like comes from the gut. So this is a power-packed punch for every single day. So you're going to take 1 scoop of this probiotic and add it to water and drink it daily. And this is just kind of the first step. It's called the kids fundamentals. And then the second thing that Abby talked about, how many kids moods she's had today. And
I'm on 4.
I mean, you guys, I want you to
They
lean.
taste really good, and they do, like Dana said, like going to the ADHD, they calm your mind. Like one thing that my daughter said is it makes her mind feel less jarbled. Like, and I think that's what Noah was saying, right? Is like, and so when I mean, I know we were all busy today, like getting ready for this and like doing our other things, and like, boom, you take it and it's works really fast.
Yeah. And I there's a lot of questions, and I don't want to spend too much time talking about kids mood versus adult mood, but they're both very good. And I think one of you said the kids mood hits a little bit faster because it is a pixie and because you're getting it straighter into your bloodstream, that you feel the tension lower quickly. But you can literally rip it open, dump it on your tongue, and it dissolves like cotton candy. Or you can mix it with water. It's up to you. So for my kids, in the morning, we do a scoop of this, we do a pixie stick, we mix it in water. That's how they do it. Probably this much water in a cup, and they're off to their day, because that is the easiest system that we can implement on a day-to-day basis. This pixie stick is loaded with natural spices that help with mental health. It helps with mental health. It helps with focus, stress resilience, which is the ability to be calm in the storm of life. It helps with anxiety and mood issues. And it helps with kids that feel overstimulated, which I think really comes back to that ADHD mind. It's like you're all over the place, you're overstimulated. How can you calm your brain to have that clean focus and clean energy? And it literally is spices that have been around for centuries that you could probably find in your kitchen, like saffron extract, holy basil, rosemary, cloves, sage, things that you're very familiar with. But the formulation, when it's taken, gives moms and kids alike this amazing ability to be calm in the storm. It's a relaxed focus. That makes sense? I'm about to cough.
Yeah. And I think, like, just going back to those spices, right? Like saffron has been shown to be as effective, if not more effective, than Ritalin, right? In studies that have been done. Did you dry scoop a kid's mood? I won't make you laugh.
Gosh, no, I didn't, but I should have. The kids' mood is great. And for parents and kids alike, and I will share just really quickly because it's already 8:04 and I know that I wanted to close this in 30 minutes. But we were just in Italy, and I was handing Neil kids' mood while we were driving, because he was like white knuckling it, like trying to get to where we were going. And I was like, "Hi, honey, I love you so much. Can I give you a kid's mood?" And he was like, yes. So it is. I keep it in my purse. Most moms keep it in their purse, because if you're in a situation out at a store after school, there are a lot of moms that, like, at school pickup, it's the routine. Get in the car, have your snack, take your kid's mood, get to soccer practice, get to wherever it is that you're going next, because we live in a very hurried world and we need tactical solutions. So the last thing that's part of the kids pack is the multivitamin. So this is just over 50 vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients. It's also very good for your gut and very good for your brain. And it is giving your kids the missing pieces to the puzzle that we all lack in diet. And they taste great. They're chewables. They taste great. I think if you think about vitamins, you can either go out in the marketplace and find something that meets the quality standard but doesn't taste good, or tastes really good and is filled with fillers and sugars and junk. And this is just a one-stop shop for everything that your child needs in a chewable that tastes amazing. I feel like we really hit the nail on the head with this chewable, because it has everything that our kids need for that. And this month, you guys, for back to school, we are running a special where if you order the kids pack, which is these 3 things, if you order the kids pack, you get a Menta Focus for you as the parent. And if you're trying to think to yourself, well, what would I do with Menta Focus? Have you ever walked into the kitchen and thought to yourself, like, why on earth am I in here? What did I walk in here for? Menta Focus, taken on a daily basis, is going to help your brain fog. It's going to help you dial in your own focus and help you just show up better. And the beauty of the way that Amare packages things is that if you start with the kids pack for your children, so you're like, okay, I'm going to get the kids pack for them, you can purchase 3 additional products at a severe discount, almost 50% off those 3 extra products. So you could essentially get Happy Juice for yourself and the kids pack for your child and set yourself up for the best success possible, because all three of us have shared that as moms, we're on Happy Juice. Like Happy Juice is the adult version of the kids fundamental pack, and you can have both of them. The last thing that I want to share is about Edge, because Noah talked about it. And that comes in 2 flavors, watermelon and grape. And there's team grape and team watermelon, and everybody's hardcore for what they love. But the reason that he shared that he loves this is because it's really good at giving you motivation. It's really good at giving the extra focus. It's great for brain health, serotonin production, dopamine production. It's actually really good for inflammation, and it's a nootropic that contains no stimulants and no sugar. With all of the things on the market today that are 17 million grams of caffeine and all the things that our kids are taking before they get on a field or in the pool to do their sport, why not choose something that is 0 sugar, 0 stimulants, all natural, and not only not bad for them, but actually good for them and good for us, so the whole family can share them. So if you're interested in any of those, reach out to the person that invited you to this group. And the last drum roll that I have is in the new product, you guys. Lean in the new product that is launching at the end of this month, right? August 28th, 29th, and 30th. You can pre-order the new kids sleep gummy. It's called Calm, and it's a gummy in the form, it looks like a brain. It's a sleep gummy. It's good for kids and parents alike, much like Kids Mood. So a lot of the kids products adults like as well, because they're good for all of us. It is a sleep gummy that contains 0 sugar, 0 artificial ingredients, and 0 melatonin. So stay tuned. If you're in the Facebook group, we are going to be talking about melatonin a lot in the upcoming weeks, because melatonin, just FYI, if you are taking it artificially, your body actually stops producing it naturally, and you need that natural hormone that your body produces. And how you can produce more of that hormone naturally is to get on Happy Juice. Get on Happy Juice. Get on the scoop of the kids fundamentals or the mentobiotics that comes in Happy Juice, and help your body produce that melatonin naturally. Because if you take it artificially, it might work or it might not work. And if it does work and you continue taking it, your body stops producing it, because it's like, oh, hey, I'm getting it from over here, I don't need it. And you're setting yourself up for a cascade of other issues. And also, it is one of the most overdosed, misused supplements, drugs, whatever you want to call it, on the market. And Courtney is like coming off her chair, ready to give everybody a lecture, but we're not going to go there today. We're going to get there. We're going to get there.
That'll be the next one.
We're going to get there on the next one. But like melatonin is not something, it's something that I feel like in our culture, it's normalized. And it's something that comes with side effects that we don't think about. So again, all new Calm product coming at the end of the month. You can pre-order it. Reach out to the person that invited you to this group. Get the best discount on that and be part of the pre-order. Courtney, will you please read the questions that are left? Because I think there are 2 questions maybe that we didn't answer.
I actually got them. So some were just comments. I wish we had this when my kids were young and I was homeschooling. And then the one question that was there asked what products Christopher took, and I added to the mix that he takes Kids Fundamentals and Edge and Kids Mood. He actually mixes his Kids Mood in the Happy Juice. He doesn't pixie stick it. He does it in the juice. And then he also does Mood Plus, which can be for kids or adults as well, that are capsules with adaptogens in it. And he takes 2 of those in the morning with his multivitamin.
Yeah. I will say this about Kids Mood versus Adult Mood. I feel from experience that Adult Mood helps to it helps to lower cortisol, balance that cortisol hormone. And it's something that helps you just consistently. Anxiety or feelings of anxiousness can go from like +20 to -20 to +20 to -20. And I think that if you're consistently taking adult mood or kids mood just consistently, it allows that sine curve to just be +5
100%.
to -5. But then if you get into a situation where you're at a +5 and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be at a +5. I want to be at a 0. How do I get there fast? You take kids mood.
Yes.
And you get there quickly and you show up. Like, I love this phrase, you show up as your best self. Like, everything about what we're talking about right now is for you to show up as your best mom, your best self every single day, and you to help your kids show up as their best selves, because that is how we have back to school success. We're going to unpack sleep and exercise and all of the things that add to this mix, because there's a mix of 5 things that make for a healthy family. Sleep, exercise, nutrition, supplements, and evaluation. And we're going to unpack that as the weeks pass. But supplements are the first easiest step toward helping your family make a change to show up for back to school success. If you found this helpful, drop a 1 in the comments. If you want help with any of these solutions, reach out to the person that invited you to this group. If you're watching on the replay, #replay in the comments below. Let's make this the best school year ever. Thank you so much for being here. Have an amazing day. All right, bye, you guys.
Thank you.